Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Abhishek Mahajan, coming up in the next 30 minutes. Donald Trump warns Russia of sanctions if no peace deal made in 2 weeks. Zelensky accuses Putin of doing everything to stop trilateral summit. Russia says agenda not ready for Zelensky meeting. Canada drops retaliatory tariffs on US goods compliant with free trade deal. Tariffs on steel, aluminium and autos to remain in place. Trump welcomes the move. Former Sri Lankan President Ranil Wickremesinghe arrested over charges of misusing public funds to remain in police custody until August 26th. India celebrates the second anniversary of its glorious Chandrayaan-3 landing on Moon as National Space Day. The celebrations carry the theme Aryabhat to Gaganyaan, ancient wisdom to infinite possibilities. All right, we'll start with diplomacy around Russia-Ukraine conflict. US President Donald Trump needs 2 weeks to gauge progress made in talks after his summit with Russian President in Alaska. Trump also raised the prospect of imposing sanctions on Moscow. He was unhappy about Russia's strike on an American factory in Ukraine this week, which caused a fire that injured some of the facility's employees. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, meanwhile, said on Friday that Russia was doing everything it could to prevent a meeting between him and Putin, while Russia's foreign minister said the agenda for such a meeting was not ready. Trump had taken sanctions off the table in preparation for a summit in Anchorage with Putin, but at the same time, White House event where he mentioned possible sanctions, he showed a photograph of his meeting with Putin on the red carpet in Alaska, saying Putin wanted to attend the World Cup 2026 soccer tournament in the United States.
Not happy about it, and I'm not happy about anything having to do with that, but we'll see what happens. I think in 2 weeks we'll know which way I'm going, because I'm going to go one way or the other, and they'll learn which way I'm going. Well, then I'm going to make a decision as to what we do. And it's going to be a very important decision. And that's whether or not it's massive sanctions or massive tariffs or both. Or do we do nothing and say it's your fight?
Meanwhile, Russian President Vladimir Putin is hopeful of improving Moscow's relations with Washington, saying there was light at the end of the tunnel in respect of the relations and that the two countries were discussing joint projects in the Arctic and Alaska. Putin visited the town of Sarov on Friday, where one of Russia's key nuclear weapons enterprises is located. During his visit, Putin toured an exhibition about scientific and educational infrastructure in closed cities. Both Russia and the United States have said they see enormous economic opportunities if they can normalize relations after ties plunged to a post-Cold War low because of the conflict in Ukraine. At a press conference following the visit, Putin said he was sure that US President Donald Trump's leadership qualities would help in restoring relations from recent lows.
Рассчитываю на то, что вот первые шаги, которые были сделаны, они это только начало к полномасштабному восстановлению наших отношений. Ну, не от нас это зависит от наших, прежде всего, западных партнеров в широком смысле слова, потому что Соединенные Штаты тоже не связаны определенными обязательствами в рамках различных объединений, в том числе Североатлантического блока. Поэтому именно от руководства Соединенных Штатов сейчас зависят следующие шаги. Но я уверен, что лидерские качества действующего президента Трампа, они являются хорошим залогом того, что отношения будут восстанавливаться. И надеюсь, что темп нашей совместной работы на этой площадке.
Moving on to West Asia situation, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said on Thursday that Israel would immediately resume negotiations for the release of all hostages held in Gaza and an end to the nearly two-year-old conflict, but on terms acceptable to Israel. It was Netanyahu's first response to a temporary ceasefire proposal put forward by Egypt and Qatar that Hamas accepted on Monday. Israel will dispatch negotiators to talk once a location is set. Speaking to soldiers near Israel's border with Gaza, Netanyahu said he was still set on approving plans for defeating Hamas and capturing Gaza City, the densely populated center at the heart of the Palestinian enclave. While in the United States, Donald Trump reiterated his administration's commitment to resolving the ongoing hostage crisis in Israel. Trump emphasized his role in previous hostage releases and assured families that efforts continue to secure the remaining captives.
The situation has to end. It's extortion and it has to end. And we'll see what happens. I actually think they're safer in many ways if you went in and you really went in fast and you did it. And people can't forget October 7th, remember that. I'm friendly with all groups.
Dutch Foreign Minister Casper Wellkamp resigned on Friday after a cabinet meeting failed to agree to sanctions against Israel. The centre-right New Social Contract Party, of which Wellkamp is a member, withdrew from the governing coalition after the resignation, adding to growing political chaos in the country. Wellkamp had said on Thursday that he wanted new measures against Israel over its iron-fisted tactics in the Gaza war against Hamas. Last month, the Netherlands declared far-right Israeli ministers Itamar Ben-Gvir and Bezalel Smotrich persona non grata. It was also among 21 countries that signed a joint declaration on Thursday condemning Israel's approval of a major West Bank settlement project as unacceptable and contrary to international law. Prime Minister Dick Schoof told the Dutch Parliament that he regretted the resignation of Wellkamp and the withdrawal of his party. Now, Canada is removing all tariffs on U.S. goods that are compliant with the existing North American Free Trade Agreement. Speaking to reporters a day after a lengthy call with Trump, Prime Minister Mark Carney said Canada has the best deal of any country with the United States right now. Carney said he was matching exemptions affirmed earlier this month by Washington, while President Donald Trump called the move nice. Following a series of agreements the United States has signed with major partners, including the European Union, Carney said the average tariff rate on goods entering the United States from around the world was now at 16%, up from 2% before Trump took office. The U.S. tariff rate on Canadian goods was 5.6%, the Prime Minister said, adding 85% of our trade is tariff-free.
In this context, and consistent with Canada's commitment to CUSMA, I'm announcing today that the Canadian government will now match the United States by removing all of Canada's tariffs on U.S. goods specifically covered under CUSMA. So in short, the situation we're in now is that Canada and the United States have reestablished free trade for the vast majority of our goods.
Abrego, a migrant whose wrongful deportation in March to his native El Salvador made him a symbol of President Donald Trump's aggressive immigration policies, was released from criminal custody in Tennessee. On Friday, Abrego was deported to his native El Salvador in March, despite a 2019 immigration court ruling that he not be sent there due to a risk of persecution by gangs. He was flown back to the U.S. in June to face criminal charges of transporting migrants living illegally in the country. Later, Abrego has pleaded not guilty. His lawyers have urged the judge to dismiss the charges, arguing prosecutors improperly targeted him in retaliation for filing a lawsuit challenging his wrongful deportation. Now, a tour bus carrying more than 50 people veered out of control and rolled over on an upstate New York highway. The incident killed at least 5 people. Multiple passengers ended up trapped in the wreckage and had to be extricated, while others were thrown from the bus when it rolled over across the highway before coming to rest on its side in a ditch along the shoulder of the road. The driver, who survived the accident, lost control while the bus was moving at full speed, causing the vehicle to career into the median and then flip over. No other vehicles were involved. An explosion at a plant in Roseland, Louisiana triggered evacuations. The blast occurred shortly before 1 p.m. as Smitty's supply. Authorities responded quickly, issuing an initial evacuation order for nearby areas, which was later expanded to a 1-mile radius around the plant as a precautionary measure. Emergency services and investigative agencies were on the scene to determine the cause of the explosion. Officials have assured the public that they are closely monitoring air quality and other potential risks. No injuries have been reported. Former Sri Lankan President Ranil Wickremesinghe was remanded to police custody until August 26 on charges of misusing public funds. Wickremesinghe was arrested after appearing before the Criminal Investigation Department and later produced in the Colombo 4th Magistrates Court. Ranil has sought bail, citing health conditions including heart disease and cancer to his wife. Police have filed 3 charges against 76-year-old, including 2 counts under Sri Lanka's Penal Code and 1 count under Public Property Act. The allegations center on a 2023 trip to London where Wickremesinghe attended the PhD graduation of his wife at the University of Wolverhampton. Investigators claim about $50,000 in state funds were spent on airfare, accommodation and related costs despite the visit having no official purpose. Wickremesinghe, who served as president from 2022 to 2024, was arrested after being questioned by the Criminal Investigation Department. His United National Party insists no public funds were misused, releasing an invitation from the university addressed to the President and First Lady. Now, leaders of the Amazon Cooperation Treaty Organization reaffirmed their commitment to protect the Amazon and combat climate change at a summit in Bogota on Friday. The presidents of Brazil, Colombia, Bolivia and the Vice President of Ecuador emphasized the urgency of unified action to prevent deforestation, protect indigenous people and promote sustainable development in the region. The summit, held ahead of COP30 climate conference in Brazil, focused on implementing the Belém Declaration, which includes 29 resolutions to address deforestation, illegal mining and transnational crime. The Amazon, often called the lungs of the earth, faces increasing threats from deforestation, illegal mining. The summit's outcome will be presented at COP30, where Amazon countries seek to secure global commitments to fund conservation and sustainable development. All right, still to come on this edition of DD India Live. US President Donald Trump announces Sergio Gore as next US ambassador to India. American artificial intelligence organization OpenAI to open its first office in India later this year. And the stage is set in New York for the final Grand Slam of the year, US Open.
Jharkhand will mesmerize you with majestic nature, rich heritage and colorful culture.
Johar.
अरे it fits perfectly.
Thank you.
Full workout हो गया.
Ready?
Postcards from Jharkhand on National Geographic.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. Some more stories. India is celebrating the second National Space Day today on the theme Aryabhat to Gaganyaan, Ancient Wisdom to Infinite Possibilities. On this day in 2023, India's Chandrayaan-3 mission accomplished safe and soft landing of Vikram lander on the lunar surface. With this, India became the 4th country to land on the moon and first to land near the southern polar region of the moon. The soft landing was followed by successful deployment of Pragyan rover. The landing site was named as Shiv Shakti Point and August 23rd was declared as National Space Day. This year, the day focuses on India's journey from Aryabhat to Gaganyaan and envisions the infinite possibilities ahead. US President Donald Trump on Friday announced Sergio Gore as the next US ambassador to India. Trump, in a social media post, has announced the nomination of Sergio Gore as the next United States ambassador to India. Trump further wrote that Gore, who is currently the director of the White House Presidential Personnel Office, would also serve as a special envoy for South and Central Asian affairs. Sergio Gore will replace Eric Garcetti, who served from May 11, 2023 to January 20, 2025. Since Garcetti's departure, the U.S. Embassy in India has been led by interim charge d'affaires Jorgen D.K. Andrews. And India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh on Friday said that India is building a robust defence ecosystem by promoting innovation and technology development and creating a suitable growth environment for domestic companies. Speaking at the World Leaders Forum in New Delhi, the Defence Minister said India is marching towards the direction of building fifth-generation fighter aircraft and manufacturing the aircraft's engine. He further said the government has approved a new order with HAL to manufacture 97 Tejas fighter planes. The minister said HAL had earlier been given an order to build 83 aircraft. Rajnath Singh has invited all foreign companies and investors to come and invest in India's vibrant defence manufacturing ecosystem. Now, American artificial intelligence organization OpenAI is opening its first office in India later this year. Giving the information, CEO Sam Altman said that he will also be visiting next month. He added that AI adoption in India has been amazing to watch. ChatGPT users grew 4 times in the past year, and they are excited to invest much more in India. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be beginning his two-nation Japan and China visit from 29th August to participate in key summits. Visiting at the invitation of Japanese counterpart Shigeru Ishiba, this will be PM Modi's 8th visit to Japan and the first summit with Ishiba. During his 2-day visit to Japan, PM Modi will attend 15th India-Japan Annual Summit, besides reviewing the special strategic and global partnership with his counterpart. They will also discuss issues of regional and global importance. In the second leg of his visit, at the invitation of Chinese President Xi Jinping, Prime Minister Modi will be in China from 31st August to 1st September to attend the SCO summit in Tianjin. On the sidelines of the summit, Prime Minister is expected to hold bilateral meetings with several leaders attending the summit. India has been a member of SCO since 2017. It held the presidency of the Council of Heads of State of SCO during 2022-23. Now, President Draupadi Murmu has given her assent to the landmark Online Gaming Bill 2025, officially turning it into law. The legislation bans money-based games and introduces strict penalties for platforms, advertisers and financiers. At the same time, it seeks to promote safe digital gaming like esports and protect users, especially the youth, from serious harm.
President Draupadi Murmu has approved the landmark Online Gaming Bill 2025 passed by the Indian Parliament recently. The legislation outlaws money-based games with severe penalties for service providers, advertisers and financiers. Aiming to promote esports and regulate online gaming, the bill received broad national support.
Of course, we also have to draft the rules and issue the rules which are required to be drafted and issued. We will see what the requirements are and understand how the transition is to be handled.
If you look at the online gaming, that has caused so many children to get almost addicted to this platform. I think it's a very unnatural upbringing, because we would want our children to be playing in fields, enjoying their childhood, rather than being completely addicted to online gaming. So many people have also committed suicide and have been in debt. So this bill will take up the youth's direction, or rather, let me say, the youth in the right direction.
The online gaming sector has become a significant part of the digital economy and is divided into 3 key segments. Esports, which involve competitive digital tournaments, online social games which are safe, skill-based games for entertainment and interaction, and online money games which involve heavy financial stakes. The money-based games have caused serious harm, including addiction, financial loss, and suicides. With over 45 crore people affected and losses exceeding Rs 20,000 crore, the government has moved to ban online money games and close legal loopholes. One tragic case from Doordarshan, Maharashtra involved a young man burdened by gaming-related debt, poisoned his wife and 2-year-old son before taking his own life.
केंद्र शासन ने जो निर्णय लिया है वो मोदी साहब और अमित शाह साहब ने वो भी अच्छा निर्णय लिया है. ऐसे हमारे गांव में हुआ है, किसी के गांव में मत होना, इसके वास्ते केंद्र शासन ने पूरा निर्णय अच्छा तरफ से लिया है.
The government introduced robust legislation to tackle such growing threats. The Online Gaming Bill 2025 marks a turning point in addressing the dark side of digital gaming. By enforcing strong regulation, the government aims to safeguard users, especially the youth, from financial and psychological harm. Bureau Report, DD India.
While on orbit, India's astronaut Shubhanshu Shukla tried to capture pictures and videos so that he can share this journey with everyone. So on social media X, he shared a 19-second time-lapse video of Bharat from space. The purple flashes you see is lightning happening in thunderstorms all over the country. And once the light fades and a dark region appears, that's Himalayas. As astronauts cross over, you see light starts to flood in because you are witnessing a sunrise in orbit. Also notice the stars in the background. It is truly a mesmerizing dance of natural elements, turning it into one beautiful spectacle. Shubhanshu finally said he wanted everyone to feel as if they were sitting in the cupola, that is the window in ISS, and witnessing it themselves. Sports updates now. We'll start with tennis. The stage is set in New York for the final Grand Slam of the year. The 145th edition of the US Open will get underway this Sunday at Flushing Meadows. With record prize money on offer and the world's top stars chasing glory, tennis fans are set to witness high-octane battles and unforgettable moments. Here's more.
The US Open 2025 begins on August 24 at the USTA Billie Jean King National Tennis Center in New York, bringing the curtain down on this year's Grand Slam season. The tournament is making headlines even before the first serve, with a record $90 million in total prize money, the highest in tennis history. Both men's and women's single champions will walk away with $5 million each, runners-up $2.5 million, semi-finalists $1.26 million, and doubles and mixed doubles champions $1 million per team. On the men's side, the spotlight will be on world number 1 Jannik Sinner, who is chasing a historic third Grand Slam title of the year after triumphs in Australia and Wimbledon. Sinner comes into the tournament with a remarkable 26-match winning streak on hard courts. Germany's Alexander Zverev, who lost to Sinner in the Australian Open final, and Novak Djokovic, a 4-time US Open champion aiming for a record 25th Grand Slam, will also be determined to make their mark. Spain's Carlo Alcaraz stands as the biggest challenger. The French Open champion has beaten Sinner in a Grand Slam final already this year and will look to reclaim the New York crown, which he lifted in 2022.
So let's see. New York is a place that I love playing. It is where I got my first Grand Slam, which I just appreciate the love and the support that I've received there every year that I go. And last year it was disappointing, the level that I played there. So this year I just really want to show my really good tennis, my best tennis, try to go as far as I can.
The women's field is equally stacked. Aryna Sabalenka, the defending champion and world number 1, will hope to repeat her title run. Iga Swiatek, fresh from her Wimbledon success, will aim for a second crown in New York and to cement her legacy across all surfaces. Elena Rybakina, who defeated Sabalenka in the Cincinnati Open semi-finals, is another major contender. And the home crowd will have their eyes set on Coco Gauff, the 2023 champion and the reigning French Open winner, who has already proven she can rise to the occasion under the bright lights of Arthur Ashe Stadium. With the women's final on September 7 and the men's championship match on September 8, the US Open is set to deliver drama, rivalries and history in the making right in the heart of the New York City. Sports Desk, DD India.
And in Turkey, Rize Mohammad Sihat Çelik has turned his dream into reality by building an extraordinary house. The 39-year-old auto body repairman constructed a bungalow on top of a 12-meter-high steel pole. Not stopping there, Çelik also added a viewing terrace to host guests while enjoying the scenery. The house, which took 6 years to complete, has become a local attraction and can carry up to 30 tons. Well, that's all we have in this edition of DD India Live. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. From all of us here in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.